when people in your day-to-day life give you advice, I feel like is not necessarily, I'm sure they want what's best for you, but I sometimes feel like people have hidden motivations or hidden like reasons, and they might tell you to do something that they would do or might not be in your best interest. I think Hector's advice, comes from a place of love and honestly wanting what's best for you without any ulterior motives. And it was a realization I had long after our coaching call, but it's somebody that you can be completely 100% honest with because he's not in your everyday life. He doesn't, hang out with you or anything like that. So he's a very neutral third party, and his advice comes from a place of like he actually wants what's best for you, and was something that I don't think a lot of other people in your day-to-day life can offer.
Cool. There was one that there's a little part of me that, as you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, except for the fact that you're paying me. But then I was like, wait, that actually makes me pretty neutral
Yeah.
because there's an exchange going on where it's like, okay, I'm getting my value, so I'm selfishly incentivized. Yes, there is goodwill in my heart, but nobody knows that, right? They don't know that
Mhm.
until after they work with me. Then they're like, oh, this guy actually gave a shit about me.
Yeah.
But what you can be assured about is that once you have satisfied my need to get paid for my services, my number one concern is with giving you results, right?
Hmm.
And the best way to give you results is to tell you the truth because there's nothing more powerful than the truth. So if I give you the truth that's best for you, that's not only best for you, but it's best for me because you're going to be like, oh, that guy gave me good shit. So I want to go back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, like the advice, it doesn't have any ulterior motives. Like you already paid for it, and the only like motivation he has is for to see you do well. And like I said, it's something that is pretty unique in the sense of advice and the world.
Real quick, PPS, right? An additional
PP.
uh or is it PSS? No, it's PPS. Yeah, it's
Postscript.
postscript. Yeah. You the bet one of the best experiences I think that actually you could have for guys. Now this is not healthy, but but it's still a cool experience. Was you had a huge crush on a girl in high school, but it's basically like the girl
Hmm.
you could never get, and she thought you were a loser, and
Yeah.
she rejected you and lost you, and then
Hmm.
you somehow got give the story of how you actually ended up sleeping with her and she went crazy for you and wanted to move in with you, and then you flipped the roles and you were like, no, I don't want to be with this girl. So give the quick
Right.
story of that because will be that's the story that guys will absolutely lose their shit for, of you hooking up with the girl who rejected you in high school and then the roles got reversed.
Yeah, so growing up in high school, I had no skill with girls, absolutely none whatsoever. I got all my advice from like these mainstream sources, and it's all terrible advice, frankly. So I did all these things. I chased this girl. I like bought her a bunch of shit, gave her compliments up the ass, and she like was very, very not into me and rejected me for 4 years of high school. I was crazy about this girl. And then after college, kind of didn't really talk to her, so we've been out of each other's life for 7 years. After I broke up with my first girlfriend that I got during Hector's coaching, we got back in touch and we just started messaging each other like on Instagram here and there. And I'm like, hey, why don't you? I live in Florida now. Why don't you come visit? And she's like, okay. So she came, she spent her own money, came, to across the country, and like even like picking her up at the airport, she was like so ecstatic to see me. So like definitely 100% 180 from how she was in high school with me, very cold, very distant, very detached. And I was just like, what like happened? Like what's different? Like I'm still the same guy, right? But a lot more knowledgeable and a lot more mature. But um, we didn't even like get all the way home and we were already making out in my car. And that was something, we had a date like senior year of high school where I took her out to dinner, fancy like Italian restaurant. I spent a lot of money, And then we like had a little peck of a kiss at the end of our date. And she's like, you know what? Like, it's not for me. Like, I really don't feel it. And, fast forward all this time later, we're making out in my car after she spent all this money to come see me. So she stayed for a week. We had sex like every day. And it was like the pinnacle of like me achieving like what little me was like dreaming about, right? Like this girl was like super like the girl. And I had sex with her and it was wonderful as I thought it would be. And she caught feelings like very, very hard. And part of it, I think, is because I'm, a high value guy. Like I'm gonna be a doctor, and I have my shit together, which is I think more than 90% of people out there. I don't know, but I told her like when we started like that week or like before she even came, like, hey, we're not gonna be dating. Like you live there, I live here. We're like 3,000 miles apart. We're 3,000 miles apart. Like this can't work out. And she's like, yeah, yeah, okay, okay. We'll just see how it is. We'll just see like what it would have been like to have dated you in high school. Just to see what if we would have been compatible together, something
Did
like
she
that.
ever pull any bullshit where she was like, "Yeah, I really liked you back then. I just, I just
Yeah,
did she like rewrite
yeah,
history and make it
yeah.
seem
She's
like
like, no, I always really liked you. I thought you didn't like me, and I'm like, oh, fucking shit.
that's some
Like
bullshit, bro?
that's such bullshit.
That's some grade A bullshit.
Because they chased you so hard, and you even told me you don't date white guys, and
Oh
it's just
my
like.
god.
And I'm like, I know you dated like two other white guys before me. And she just pretended like she has no memory of that. And um,
Oh man.
so anyway, had like a fantastic week with her, and then she went back home, and we had like talked about, oh yeah, like you should come visit again like sometime. And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. While she was there, she talked with all of our mutual friends that, now we're together and she's gonna move in with
You
me and
you were
she's gonna
hearing
be.
this from the friends.
So I had heard this after the fact from the
Yeah.
friends.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, my friends who told me like, oh yeah, she was saying all this stuff that she's gonna move in with you, she's gonna like be there with you and like be your girlfriend. And I had, I thought I made it very clear that that's not gonna happen because there's all this distance between us. I can't date you when you're in a different time zone, basically.
Mhm.
So I had heard this after the fact from our friends, and then I told her, you know what, don't come anymore. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't want you to come anymore. And she started saying, well, should I go anyway to our mutual friends? Like, should I go anyway? Like, I already bought a ticket. Um, like I can
Imagine
just
if the
show up.
roles were reversed.
I can just show up on his door and
Holy shit.
my friends were the real homies. They're like, no, don't do it. Like, are you kidding? Like, he told you not to come. Like, just leave it alone. So anyway, I feel really, really bad because I feel like I kind of broke her heart.
Yeah, yeah, you're still a human being, but Jesus Christ,
But the roles were just like so reversed, and
that's
honestly,
probably why it had such an effect on her.
yeah,
Because the roles were reversed.
yeah, I was not into her like she. I mean, I was into her, but seeing her with my 27, 28-year old perspective,
Hmm.
she didn't really grow up from where we had begun.
She was
She was
still
still
as
in the,
hot, but she never grew up here.
she never grew up here, and
Hmm.
it wasn't gonna work for me. So, we had a lot of fun. She's still really hot, but
Yeah, I still loved fucking her. That's the thing about guys. The girl, if she has that perspective, she's not gonna enjoy fucking you. Or I guess in the case of like she had a fun fling when she was young, and then you guys meet up 6 years later, and you have a bunch of wild sex, and then she's like, yeah, but this guy never evolved. Then she's not gonna marry you and stuff, right?
yeah.
So
But I
you,
think she saw how much I had grown
yeah,
and how much
yeah, of course.
I became.
And you're gonna
You
be
know,
a
I,
doctor.
I I became a doctor. I'm fit. I'm going to the gym every day and having this this wonderful life, this and she's, not to bag on her, but she's still in the same place that she used to be, and that doesn't really have much going for her. So I'm like, coming like what I bring to the table versus what she brings to the table, it doesn't match up for me. So I rejected her, and not with those words, but I, told her not to come,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
she was very devastated, and I found out later from my friends, and I really hope she's doing well. I obviously didn't mean to like hurt her or anything like that, but
And I
um,
told you that when it happened because I knew how you felt. I fucking know how you felt because you're a human being and I would feel the exact same way. I'd be like, I got, like first
yeah, yeah,
you're
I
like,
felt amazing. I
yeah.
felt on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this was like the culmination of like little me
Yeah.
finally becoming who I wanted to be,
Yeah.
and like getting the girl and like being this stud. But yeah, but now that I have a different perspective, like what I wanted back then isn't the same as what I want now. And yeah, no, I mean, like you said, I'm sure you've had these feelings. I'm sure you've been through these situations, and like I said, I just I hope she's doing well. I really want what's best for her.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember when you felt that way, and I could smell it through the phone. I was like, I know Andre's just feeling big dick swagger, like,
Yeah,
no matter how kind you are, like, some part of you is like, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
told you, I remember specifically telling you, I know how you feel, but try not to give too much into that feeling. She is heartbroken. She's a human being, you know. I know you feel big pimpin', but try to have compassion for her, and it's good. You've kept that perspective, and then you were before. I wanted to use this story because as soon as you said it, I was like, holy crap, guys need to hear this. Like, this is literally the epitome of when your dream girl becomes just another girl. And
Hmm.
that's one of the best things that can happen to you because it's actually one of the most respectful things you can do because you're not putting this woman on a pedestal as some goddess. She's just another person and she has flaws, and you've gone here and she's kind of still here. She's still an attractive person. She's still a person worthy of respect, but you've kind of leveled up. And so you wanted to tell me that there's been an update actually recently with this. So give me the final update.
So the update was like what I had found out from our mutual friend,
Oh,
that
okay.
she was going around telling everybody we knew that she's with me, she's gonna come here and move in with me, and I remember like the last time we had sex, she's like, all right, I want you to come in me, and I'm like, I don't know if
Woo!
that's a good idea. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Like, what if you get pregnant? And she's like, wouldn't be the worst thing. And I
Did
was
you
just
tell me
like,
about
yeah,
this?
I don't know if I did,
Ooh.
but it's like at that moment, like, my dick brain was overridden by my logical brain. I'm like, wait a minute, this girl's trying to trap me into
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Are you from a
at
small
that
town?
point, no, I'm from a pretty big city.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because, in my head, that's like small town girl didn't like average Joe. Average Joe becomes, high
Super
profile,
Saiyan.
Super Saiyan, right? And then now she wants to get with him and wants his babies and is going to try and
Yeah.
lock him down. So this is even better though. She isn't some small town girl with no options. She's actually a girl in a big city with decent
Hmm.
options and still wants to trap you like you're some NBA player and is trying
Hmm.
to, get knocked up by you before you get drafted so that she can be, part of the squad. And we you know, we don't want to dunk on her for that and be like, "Oh, this is, that's just her natural instincts." Like, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
but that is a little bit.
But I wasn't having it. I wasn't. I
Yeah,
wasn't. Yeah, no. It was
yeah.
just like I know. I realize what you're trying to do, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I had the foresight to kind of cut that off.
Wowee. What a That's actually the best part. Holy shit. But okay, so the update was that when you hooked up with her and then was like, "Hey, I don't want you to come," or like, "We're going to keep it casual." You thought that was all well understood,
Yeah.
and then you told her not to come, and then that was the end of it. What you found out
Hmm.
recently was that there was a second story going on at the same time where she was telling
Where she,
everyone we're together.
yeah, exactly. And she was texting me every day, like, good morning and good night, and I hope you have a good day at work. And I'm just
That's yeah. That's
like,
wifey
I don't,
behavior. Yeah.
I don't know like what else to say to like, I don't want to text you every day. I don't want to like, say good morning and good night and like, we're 3,000 miles apart, like we can't be together. Like this just you're trying I felt like she was trying to trap me into a relationship when I thought I had made it very clear
You did.
that that wasn't my intention.
You did. You did make it clear. And
So that was an experience that I had, and I don't know that it would have played out the same had I not had the skills and the understanding of people that I do now. Thanks in large part to Hector's coaching.
awesome. So this is the PPS. Yeah, I'm sure
The
there'll be
PPS, the best PP, the
yeah, the
best.
best PPS.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, so yeah, this is the official end to the testimony. So
Yes.
I'll go ahead and stop it there. Okay,
So
so PPS, motherfucker, because you keep missing out all that fucking story that we just told, or the story that I'm
I'm a
about to
very
tell.
reserved person. I like don't bring out like details and then I say things and it's more impactful
Then,
later
then,
on.
then, yeah, then, yeah. So whether you're watching this at the end or the beginning, depending on what my editor decides to do. So this girl in this story, the dream girl who becomes just another girl, the one who rejected you becomes the one who chases after you in a somewhat crazy manner. Tell me your history with her.
So this girl was the one I chased all throughout high school and was super like crazy about, and I wanted her, to be with her, and she was my dream girl because she rejected me, so many times, and I was at my wit's end trying to figure out how to get with her. This girl was what led me to discover like this community and the pickup like community where I was Googling things and I came across, girlschase.com, and I just started reading article after article after article, and probably for like 2 months straight, I read like, I think it was like 10 a month that you can read. I read as much as I could. Um, and she was the girl that got me into like this journey to learn how to be a better version of myself, learn how to become attractive, learn how to be, you know, who I am now, if you will. And so things didn't work out with her, but I still had all that knowledge and all those like skills that I had read about and practiced. And then I did Hector's coaching and, became a little bit more refined. And as time went on, as I became, more comfortable in my own shoes, this girl who I was so crazy about, who originally started my self-improvement journey, like you said, just became another girl. And I elevated myself so much, and not to like bash on her or anything, because I appreciate her for what she did, but I elevated myself to, a level above her that I didn't find her wife material or girlfriend material anymore.
Wow.
And like Hector said, she just became another girl. And this has been kind of like the culmination of my experience with dating, where this girl that I chased so hard for led me on this journey of self-improvement to the point where I became so much more comfortable and so much, more solid in my own skin that she wasn't hot shit anymore. She was just another girl. And now my options are a lot more diverse and broad, and I can get with girls that are 100 times better than her. So I appreciate her and I love her for the journey she put me on. Um, and she'll always like be that special place in my heart, but not something that I can ever, romantically be with. And yeah, that's kind of where I ended up because of her.
Goddamn.